Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. We have a special treat in today's video. We're going to be comparing an 88 GT on the right to my 1985 SE on the left. So we're going to start the video by doing a walk around with both vehicles buttoned up so you can see the styling and design changes between the two. Very apparent here with the rear view of the GT. And one of the quick differences is the later model said Pontiac in the brake light assembly, and the older models did not. Notice the larger 16-inch wheels, the notch back area there with the flying buttress windows. Technically mine's considered the notch back, but that's the hatchback. Slant nose versus, and I'll back up so you can see more on this side. The design differences are very apparent when they are nose to nose. Notice the nose of the GT versus the nose of the SE. The rear of this, notice this does not have the lighted Pontiac area, which I think is actually kind of cool. I like that. The SE came with smaller tires and wheels, 14-inch from the factory. 14 or 15, I'll double check on that, but I believe they were 14, and on the GT we have 15s. So as you can see from the exterior walk around, there is some design changes from the original SE body style second year of production. They came out in '84 to the final year of production, 1988. So now we're going to walk around and basically unbutton the cars, open the hoods, open the trunks, open the doors, and give you an interior tour of the design differences, which are substantial, and you'll be able to see pretty quickly the differences between the car. So we'll go ahead, I will unbutton mine, and we'll allow the owner of this one to unbutton his, and we'll give you guys a interior tour difference. Pop all the latches and all the good stuff here. We do have the same engine, however he has performed some modifications on his engine, and his car's approximately 160, 170 horsepower, where mine is the bone stock 140 horsepower. So okay, we have both cars unbuttoned now. So we'll start with the interior, since we're standing here. We'll just start with the interior of mine, the SE, and you'll see the typical 80s brown interior. Now pay attention to this area because it's going to come into play in just a minute. His console and instrumentation is different than in mine. So we have the trunk area, which is also different on his, by the way. We'll come around to that. The whole rear end is different. So notice on this one, this is flush, stock V6 engine, and there's going to be some substantial changes as we make our way around to the GT. Right hand passenger side here, and again pay attention on here to the top of the area where the radio and the air conditioning vents are mounted, because on his it is quite different indeed, actually. So coming up to the trunk area on the SE, now I am missing the wind deflector that locks in here. I've got to get that to make the car 100% complete, and then we'll be good to go. So moving over to the GT. As we covered in the external view, obviously the SE front end versus the GT front end. Moving on up to the trunk area, he does have his deflector, so like I said, I've got to get that. He does have his spare tire out, so you can see that area, how deep it goes. Some people use that as a luggage rack. They take spare tire out, and you can put small luggage up front, and of course it's waterproof due to the seal here should you encounter inclement weather. So moving on around to the interior, he has the gray interior. And remember, I mentioned in the other video the difference of instrumentation. Notice the instrument pod there. That's a little different than the original SE. Now his is the manual transmission versus my automatic. He also has the correct steering wheel and steering wheel cap, which is not correct in my car. I have got to get to the Fiero store guys and go, hey guys, hook me up with an original 84 steering wheel. Mine is not currently correct. Tour of the interior here. He has the cover over the sunroof that mine does not have. His interior doesn't sag, and mine does.
I had that replaced a couple of years ago.
You had it, okay. That's why his doesn't sag. He had it replaced. So one of the design differences on the GT is the flying buttress windows that you can actually see through and see the engine. So moving around to the engine bay here, he does have the factory V6 that has been modified, 160, 170 horsepower, I believe it. He said around 160, 170 horsepower out of the original engine configuration. Now you notice how I said things were different on the rear end of the GT. Notice it says Pontiac here that lights up. Notice this is different than mine. The trunk area is set lower. You can tell the seal is different. And on his trunk, notice the mechanism here, extended trunk unlock mechanism. Very different. This is different than mine, which is why he facilitates that extension there. All this is much different than the SE. Engine compartment virtually the same. I notice his air cleaner assembly is red. Did you have that custom paint?
I painted it.
You painted it. Okay,
yeah.
So he did custom paint the airbox assembly there. Venting very similar. I do notice a slight difference. The SE doesn't have those to cover there in the little slats.
Yours is more rectangular.
Okay. Okay, so there's a little different. And also you see how it bends down. Mine are completely flat. You can see through the window here how they arc over here. On the SE it is just completely flat. So that is also a design change. He's going to pull the cover off for us here. Battery location is the same, but there is a design difference because of that flying buttress window. I like the green battery. That's pretty cool. So moving around to the passenger side of the 88 GT. Again, notice the flying buttress windows. And here we have a better view of the different instrumentation on the SE versus the GT. 5-speed manual gearbox. Aftermarket radio. Interior is in good condition. Very, very good condition. And then making our way back up to the passenger side of the trunk area. This is very similar because the frame on the cars are pretty much identical. So all of this area, where everything's mounted, the way the headlights work, all that is identical. It's primarily just a styling change, the different bodywork kits. So we're going to end the video where we started it. We're going to do a side by side with everything buttoned up. 84 to 88, two iconic 80s automobiles. As you know, if you watch my channel regularly, my intent on this channel is not to produce chest-beating, oh look what I bought content. No, it is to produce educational and entertaining content for the automotive enthusiast. And like I always say, if you enjoyed today's content, please consider sharing, subscribing, and commenting, because being a brand new small YouTube channel, that really helps me out with the YouTube algorithms. So, as always, thanks for watching and have an absolutely wonderful day.